Straight off, let me now bring on board Deven Choksey, Managing Director of KR Choksey Securities. Deven, morning. Thank you for joining us. Deven, if I divide the market action into two halves, first half was dominated by hope trade, second half was clearly dominated by fear trade. What will dominate Indian markets today?
Well, I think, Nikun, good morning. To my mind, I think immediately I get that particular view that we are caught between the devil and the deep sea, as I see it, because the internal paralysis of taking any measures on the economic front and taking any reforms forward probably I think is crippling us, and it's not allowing the economy to grow, because the currency on one side is depreciated because of the inactions from the government side, and on the other side euro is posing equal amount of challenges going forward. If euro, I think, as they say, is going to get reduced to a currency which is not going to be of significance at some point of time, then in such case in the interim period we are going to see trouble coming into us because of, I think, the further pressure coming onto currency from outside. So to a greater extent, I think it's a game where we have to manage our currency well. If we end up managing our currency well, probably I guess I think the economy and the equity markets ultimately I think would start performing better. But I think that's a call that our policy makers will have to take at some point of time, sooner than later, I believe.
Deven, this week we have two important events. First, FNO settlement on Thursday, and then the EU meeting starts on Friday. Ahead of the FNO expiry and after the EU summit, how do you see Indian markets could move and they could shape up?
Well, Nikunj, I think as most of the things are known to us, FNF settlement is probably, I think, not going to create as much of an anxiety of the problem, though there may be a situation of, I think, couple of hours of volatility happening into the markets. The EU summit is going to be, I think, more important as I see it, because a larger fate of euro is dependent on this particular summit, and that is where I would think that I think one will have to remain a little watchful. Nobody is knowing, I think, what is going to be the outcome, though I think general camp believes that they will make every effort to save euro as a currency and probably, I think, work out the bailout package for Spain, Italy kind of a countries, I think, which would probably mean longer duration of measures that has been given to them. To my mind, I think till such time this clarity comes in, Nifty would trade in the range of 5,000 to 5,200. And it is going to be a crucial band. 5,000, 5,200 is going to be a crucial band. Any positive news coming in, I think, could possibly help Nifty cross 5,200 levels, and it could go probably in the direction of 5,300, 5,350. But should it be negative, then probably I think we might see the market going down to somewhere around 4,850, 4,900 levels. So I think one will have to play very watchful at this point of time. The best thing to play around would be, since the new series is getting started, sell 4,900 puts and sell 5,400 calls, and I think capture the premium to your account on a time value basis. So that would be the best strategy, as I would call it, to play around.
Deven, 2,500 for State Bank of India in next 6 months, is that entirely conceivable?
Well, yes, I think a lot depends on the overall market condition and the buying appetite coming into the market. State Bank of India on its own merits, I think, certainly deserves the kind of a price upside to our 2550 levels. For sure that I think the credit growth has to pick up in this process. If the credit growth starts picking up, infrastructure-led spending starts taking place, then large size bank like State Bank of India should certainly have, I think, a larger say. Currently, we feel more comfortable also at the same time, because the valuation at which the stock is available is far more comfortable. I think 1.5 times around price to book value is not expensive for a bank like State Bank. So from that point of view too, I think this bank looks interesting. We have a buy recommendation on some of the banking stocks, and State Bank of India remains among the top list. So certainly I think we have no hesitation in putting across the recommendation in State Bank of India to buy levels.
Deven, last time it was Praj, before that it was Sterlite Technologies. What's your mid-cap idea now?
Well, I think difficult to spot some of the ideas so easily these days, because I think a lot of issues are hovering around, particularly on the currency side. So not immediately possible to, I think, bring out so many new ideas. But I think we still believe that some of the large cap companies which have come down very significantly, I think they figure in the mid-cap category of stocks, and probably one among them could be, I think, within the belt, I think within the range which we select, I think in the port business, which is a Mundra port, that is Adani port. That company looks reasonably strong at current levels, and I think would have larger benefit going to them once the Delhi-Mumbai corridor activity starts by 2015. So this particular company looks reasonably good at current levels to add into the portfolio.